Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Feels so good to be myself. Yes. To be anchored into the I self. The time is now. There is no time like now. The time is now. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? The time is now. Many of the INIs are concerned about your family members, that which came as your parents. Know that when the I has forgo this body and is no longer in the body, they are done playing the roles that they were assigned to play into this dream existence. We have a lot of attachments to all of these dream characters, and it's holding you back. The time is now to denounce all ties to all dream characters. You are hired as a character in a movie, and the movie is over, and you're still having attachment to the characters. You're not returning to yourself, to your real self. You still want to wear the costume and the mask and want to play those character roles. When the time has come, when the role that you are playing as a dream character, it's time to dissolve these dream characters. Yes, all is the I self. So, if all is I, and I am only one self, where will all myself go? There is no other way but all myself will return unto me. So it is not necessary for the I to worry about any of the I self that which came and play any role as the I parents or any family member in this dream existence, because all of the I selves will return back onto I. Remember this. All is I self, and I alone exist. There's only one self that exists. The I self exists alone. The I is caught up into the characters, the role that the characters are playing. And the I is thinking that these characters is the I self, but it is not so. All these dream characters are not the I self. The real self that is animating the dream characters is the real self that is I and will return back into I self as one unified self. So there is no need to be attached to the dream characters and you're holding yourself back to move forward. You have to denounce. I denounce all ties. I have no mother, no father, no sister, no brother, no uncles, no aunt, no relations. I have no husbands. I have no wives. I have no lovers. I have no gods, no deities, no ancestors. All is myself. All is I. I alone exist. You have to come to this realization. The time is now. The time is now. There is no time like now when the I must fulfill the I's destiny, soul, self destiny. The time is now. The I is holding attachment to all the dream characters, and the I is stuck and can't move forward. The I is in the dream as the shattered, fragmented self called the soul. The I must dissolve this ego false self and be the I self. Remember that the soul is not something that you have and you give away willy-nilly. The soul is the self. It is you. It is your real self. It's not something that you have and give away. It is yourself. Stop putting yourself in bondage and slavery. Denounce all ties to all these gods and deities, archangels and angels, all these dream characters and aliens. It's time for I to come into true self-realization now. What are you waiting for? It doesn't mean that the family that you're in, you're going to not do all the things that you used to do for them. It means that you are not holding attachment to them because you are in the realization that all of these dream characters, that which come as your parents, that which come as your siblings, they are yourself. So if all is yourself, there's no need for you to worry. It's just need for you to do what you need to do. You have to take this role to do what you need to do. Because if you don't do it yourself and be in command, it means that the I self supreme is going to do it for you, and you're going to miss the opportunity to be a part of the non-dual world. When you do this yourself, you take command. Because know this truth, that all of us, even myself, we are all going to be dissolved. I am just a fragment, a fractal, going to be dissolved back into the I self supreme, to the one unified self. This is what is going to happen. So I cannot hold attachment to any of the dream characters. Don't hold attachment to God. Don't hold attachment to ancestors. This is what is holding back many ones. They are debating on who created them, Enki, Enlil, Jesus, all of these characters. They are all dream characters. Don't hold attachment to them. Just be yourself and remember that your soul is not something that you have. It is you. It is yourself. The time is no. The time is no. There is no time like now. Pay attention to what's happening right now. Are you paying attention? There's a lot happening. A lot of changes are happening now. The big merger is happening with the stillness, non-being, non-dual self, and its duality self. Then after which will be the unified self of the one, the oneness. This is what I think. But in my experience, there has been so many unification of so many levels of the self. But I am thinking that this is the last merger the unified self, the oneness self. That there is no more duality where the self is splitting itself into duality. So because we're at the stillness level now, the unmanifest, non-being level of the self. And I am saying, and this is the baby. So I am saying that the next level is just the one unified self. But of course, I never know, because when I thought it was at the end with the primal light, it wasn't. It was the next level of the unified, the non-dual right now, which the stillness baby of the non-being. So the I self is making so many babies of itself, and each baby is making babies and babies, and we are in this body are the babies of all the babies. So right now I really don't know, but I'm hoping that's gonna be the final one, because believe me, it the mergers, they are not pleasant. Because the dualities, they are fighting. They do not want to give up this dream. The dualities are fighting the self. Because remember, it's just like you are the self. You make a replica of yourself. That self becomes the duality. The self now puts it to sleep. This is the problem. It is own self that is battling. Now the self is trying to wake itself up, and it's fighting it. It does not even recognize. It sees itself as its enemy. And so the merger is not pleasant, because there's a battle going on for the self to merge with its self replica. It's exact same copy of itself. They have to be unified back as one. And so it's not pleasant for the self, and it's very unpleasant for me, because that's why I'm encouraging everyone that you can understand and experience what I am saying if you return back to yourself, the soul. This way you can know for yourself, and this way you can be yourself, and you can be in command instead of following blindly, holding attachment to all the dream things. Because many ones, they're seeking all the dream things, attachment to the dream characters, pleasures in the dream, you know? And so you have to give up the pleasure. You have to want to do this. Because if you want to hold attachment to all the pleasures, inside of this dream, and you don't want to be dissolving the ego false self, you want the pleasures, bliss, and all these things, it's gonna be hard for you, because you're holding attachment to the things of the world, the pleasures, because everyone is seeking a blissful experience. I don't know who told them that this merger of self is not pleasant. So I don't know why you're all seeking bliss and pleasure. Somebody told you wrongly. So stop seeking pleasures in this dream. This is what the mind is making a trickery. right? So stop seeking pleasures, stop holding attachment to the dream characters, stop seeking dream things because all of this will be dissolved soon. So, this is what one must do. All right. So, the time is now. The time is now to lose attachment to this ego false self that the I is in. You have been playing this role. You have been, and it's time now. When you have to give up this role, this character, and return back to the I real and true self. Are you ready to do this? Believe me, I will not tell you that I don't know how it will be for you, but I'm going to tell you that this is the biggest challenge that I have because I must battle and face with the I, ego, the mind, because it is the root of all our problems. The mind, the ego, does not want to give up this existence because it creates the ego false self. And the ego false self can only exist when the real self sleeps. So it's time to wake up and dissolve this ego false self and put some void between yourself and this ego because it is the destiny of Aten Ram, primal light self, to dissolve the ego. That is not your destiny. Your destiny is to dissolve the ego false self. This is why you have to wake up from sleeping, take command. The time is now when you have to do this. Wake up, take command, and be yourself. And anchor into the I Self Supreme, primal light, the I Self Supreme Self. The time is now. So I want to leave you with that. Remember that this world is a dream. This world is a dream. All the characters, they are sleeping and dreaming. Very few ones are awake inside of this dream. Everyone is playing a, a character. This is not your real, true nature. You are just having a contract, playing a role into the movie. And now the time is when you must dissolve that character that you have been playing and be your real self to dissolve the dream. Are you ready to do this? So, what you must do? Denounce all ties to this dream existence. You must do this. You must denounce all ties. So, let me see if I can put up on the screen here. I denounce all ties. Um, Hold on. So I denounce all ties. Then I have to just be the I self. So all right, 1 second, let me find this. I denounce all ties. thing, affirmations, because this this will actually help the I to so I'm going to switch the screen, and I'm going to say this, the affirmation. So you just have to do this. This is a very important. I'm gonna go full screen so you can see it clearly. So this is a very important affirmation for denouncing the ties to the dream existence, because you're going to be binding yourself into this dream creation and dream things and dream life and dream family when the time is now to denounce all ties, so that the I can return to the I ultimate true state with awareness. So you can do it with awareness, or it will be done for you and you will be unconscious and will not be in awareness of it. So I denounce all ties. I denounce all ties to this dream existence. I free myself from all ties and bondage. I revoke all contracts that binds me in any way or form. I denounce all rivalry. My truth and freedom is all I need. I claim my liberation, free from this hypnosis, all slavery and oppression, all mind control, free from all tyranny, free from all psychic attacks and all manipulation. I claim my sovereignty. This mind, this ego has no power over me. I am a sovereign being. I revoke all your rights to act on my behalf. I annul all contracts between you and I. I have no relations, no teachers, no preachers, no gurus, no deities, no gods, no mother, no father, no sister, no brother, no family, no friends, no husband, no wife, no lovers, no children, no ancestors, no aliens. All is myself. All is I. I self alone exist, indivisible, non-dual, formless, timeless, limitless, boundless. I, self supreme, alone exist. I alone exist, and all of myself must return back into I. I am the ultimate truth. I am the ultimate reality. I am the eternal truth. I am the eternal self. I am that has no name. I am that can't be explained. I am that I am. I am liberated from this dream. I am free. All is I, and I alone exist. And everything that I have created, I demolish. Everything that I have created, I demolish. I am free from my imaginary bondage. I am free from my imaginary bondage. I return to my ultimate true state. I return to my ultimate true state. I transition from being to non-being. I transition from being to non-being. I move effortlessly with ease from manifest to unmanifest. I move effortlessly with ease from manifest to unmanifest. I alone exist. I alone exist. Thank you very much. Know that what's real and what's not real. Only the self is real. The self came into being, into non duality, and entered the dream. Create the dream. The self can exit the dream back into the real. What's not real? Anything that was created inside of the dream is not real. Look around you. Anything that you can see in here is not real except for the self. The ego can only rise in the dream. The ego cannot exit the dream to go into the real. It must be dissolved here. So the time is now. The time is now to dissolve this ego false self and say this affirmation. Make this be, if you are a person of prayer, make this affirmation be your prayer, because you're everything, because you must take command, because who is in command? I am. You are in command over your mind. Take command. Do this denunciation of all ties to all the dream characters, to all the dream things. Know that it doesn't mean that you don't live in the world anymore. It means that you're not attaching yourself to the things of this dream. You are ready now to transition yourself to the real. This becoming the real will not happen for you with awareness if you don't do this. You have to denounce because of the mind. So when you do this, you are denouncing this ego, this mind, so that it knows that you are ready for the self to pull the ego off of you, to put some void between the you and the mind. The ego is like this. There has to be void between yourself and the ego. You cannot have it on you like this, ruling and constantly telling you to do things, and you're doing it, and it influencing you, and sometimes you do not know that it is the mind that is doing it, because you think the mind is yourself. So this is why you have to do this. It is important to denounce all ties to the dream and the dream existence. The mind is creating the dream. You have to denounce ties to what the mind is creating. You need some void between you. This will help you. Be encouraged on this journey. I know that I am here for you. I have been there and I have done that. There is nothing in this existence that I have not been there and done. So I know the path, and I know that the path is difficult because it's the mind that is the problem. You have to stand up to your mind. Stand up to the mind, denounce all ties to this mind so that it can be pulled off of you. This is very, very important. You have to want it more than you want anything else. You have to want your liberation more than you want anything else. Seek only the I, to be the I, true self, and be yourself. So, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. I am always here. A few ones have reached out to me, and because they was having some difficult time. And so I want to know if you would like to be a part of rising up early in the morning, like 6 a.m. or something like that. Could be 5:30. And if you want to be a part of that, so I can assist someone personally. Um, I know that one person reached out to me. They wanted for me to assist them with that. And so I said I would. So if anyone else wants to join, um, rising up early, and I can do affirmations with you, see what level you're at, and how I can best assist you. I'll be happy to do that. Everything that I do is for the I and I selves. So reach out to me and let me know how I can best help you so that you can stand up to your mind, to this ego, and dissolve your ego false self and just be yourself, your soul self. I I know you can do it because I have done it. I have walked the path, and I know that it is challenging because you have to want it more than anything else. It has to be an obsession that you want to be yourself and not be in the ego false self. You want to lose attachment to the dream and the dream things. You have to get to that state. This is the only way that is going to happen for you. So thank you, because many are seeking husbands, they're seeking wives, they're seeking so much attachment, they're holding attachment to all the dream characters. Because I know many spiritual gurus has been telling ones that they about twin flames and all these things. That's not what it means. The mind misinterprets a lot of things. um Twin flames are relating to the I self is fragmented in the dream, and the masculine and feminine is separated. So everyone inside of this dream is separated, that's wearing the body, is separated. They're masculine and feminine, they're not unified. So it's not your destiny to find your masculine self. If you be yourself that is in awareness, the soul self already knows where its masculine or feminine self is. Depending on what it is, it's a masculine or feminine. um for myself, my masculine self was Shiva, but Shiva already went through this journey and gained his enlightenment and wasn't already in a body. But I did not know that he was my masculine self. But I was not seeking those things. I just wanted to liberate myself, and it's after I did that I learned. So now Shiva is joined with me as one unified self. So this is what I'm saying. Once you go through this, you don't have to seek no shadowed self, because your shadow self are your clones that happen in the dream. And if you are not illuminated, you will not be able to bring light to them. You have to do you first. You have to liberate yourself. You have to be unified yourself so you can help any of your shadows. So don't follow what those spiritual gurus are telling you to go finding um, shadow self and have to work on shadow self. No, you need to work on your mind. Your mind is your problem. It's attached to you like this, on top of you. You need void between it, and it is your soul that the teacher, the guru, rises from, that pulls it off of you. Every aspect of the self has a destiny to perform. Your destiny is to do this. So they are influencing and telling everyone the wrong thing. Every aspect of the self, because you have to do this first for the soul to take the baton from you and to run its distance. Once you do this, now the soul self now takes charge and in command. Now, once the soul does what it's supposed to do, then Aten Ra takes command. So, and then on every level, this is how the self is. So each level of the self have a destiny and what needs to be done. For myself, I had to do this first for Aten Ra to come and help me with all the other aspect of the things that I cannot do for myself. Then all the levels of the self, the manifest self, the unmanifest, the void self, the void unmanifest self, the primal light self, now the stillness, every aspect of the self has a role to play. And so many are saying, oh, I want to experience those aspects of myself. You cannot experience those aspects of yourself until you become yourself. You are in the ego, false self. So that's why you are experiencing the gods and the angels and the archangels, because they are all the ego, false self. You want to experience the real, you must be your soul self, because this is how the self communicates through the soul. So you want to experience the things I'm experiencing with the real, you have to be the real. It is really that simple, but you have to do the work, because your enemy is the mind. The mind is thinking that you are its enemy and it is fighting against you. You have to stand up to the mind. And so I know many gurus are not they're telling you, some tell you that you have to master your mind and control your mind, but they don't really know the steps and what to do. So that's why I say stay focused on the self, to be yourself. Don't think of your soul as something that you have, but know that it is yourself, their real self. And you are in the ego false self. Give up attachment. I want to be my soul. Call the soul back. Say, command it. I command you, soul, myself, my real self, to come back into this body and dissolve this ego false self. Command your soul. This was how I was doing. I commanded my soul to awake. I thought it was sleeping, but the soul never sleeps. It's the self, the spirit that was sleeping. But the spirit, when I came to realization, I had wake up. As the spirit self, I awoke, and I thought my soul was sleeping. But what was happening was that one of the gods had imprisoned the soul. And so I had to fight to get it back to myself, to merge with it. So I'm saying that you, as the ego false self right now, can do the same thing. The I self supreme is releasing all souls. So you just have to demand that your soul return back to you and be yourself. Yeah. So, because what? I am in command. You have to say that I am in command. I am in command. I command this, and as I have commanded, so let it be. So it is. So you have to be desperately wanting this to happen, because the mind is going to trick you and not and make you lose interest and find something else for you to be obsessing about instead of this. Believe me, I know. So it has to be the one and only thing that you desire. So the mind does not trick you. So know that always the mind is playing your enemy. Alrighty, so I want to thank the I for joining. If you would like to have a conversation, like to ask a question, you can let I know, so that I can assist the I. Do you have a question? If you have a question, you can type it. You can also tell me how your journey has been for you. How has your journey been? No worries. Know that I am always here, always, and you can reach out to me anytime, and I am here to assist anyone personally. And no need for anyone to be afraid, because the mind will make one's be afraid, to wanting to give up the ego. Because you know, when this happened for myself, and the self pulled the ego off, it was running up and down the body, and it was telling me, no, 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 don't give me up, don't give me up. And I said, no, I want nothing of this dream existence. I want to return to my ultimate true state. And so the self was running in the body, trying to grab the mind, because it is now loosened and pulled off of me. And when I was sharing this, the ones that was saying, oh, you are crazy, you sound crazy. Because they don't know that the mind is crazy. The mind will do this when it get loosened off of you. It was running around crazy, and that was why I I did this song. Let me see if I find the song. Um, I did this song that was because of the mind was doing that. Um, Let me see if I find it. I'm gonna play some of it. Yeah, the mind was it was. I mean, you have to experience these things to really see how crazy the mind is. You know, because when I was sharing this, and then I just stopped sharing some things because many ones are not at the level, because their mind cannot comprehend it, because the ego is obscuring them. And when you pull it off of you, you get to experience it separately from you, and you get to see the craziness of it. So so that was the thing about it. Mm, I don't see the song right now. No, that's not the one. But anyways, maybe I'll share the song another time. But it was very interesting. So I know many ones, they have experiences, but they are afraid to share them because of the gods and things like that. The experience that they have with them raping them and such things. But don't be afraid to share your experience, because the time is now. when we have to speak the truth of these things. So thank the I for joining I, and I will see you in the next video.